madhuryojvala premadhya shirupanuga bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapasadantarvantaharine Namo Gaurakishoraya Shakshad Vairagya Mortaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauribhir Bhavabhumestvam Nirdesta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavedanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Surator Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasya Parambojo Shri Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpajumadaha Srimad Radnagara Simhasanasto Shri Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshtalabi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamsi Vata Tatastita Karshan Venu Suner Gopir Gopinata Shriye Stunaha Vrindaye Tulsi Devyaye Pre Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavityaye Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Page 23. Krishna Vaite Chaturmukha Hoya Krishna Sevan Mukha Brahma Hoite Narade Ramati Narada Hoite Vyasa Madhva Kahe Vyasa Dasa Purna Pragya Padmanabhagati Nirhari Madhava Vamse Akshobhya Bharamamse Shishya Boli Angi Karakare Akshobhya Shishya Jaya Tirtanami Parichaya Taradase Jnana Sindhutare Taha Hoite Daya Nidhi Taradasya Vidya Nidhi Rajendra Hoilo Tahate Tara Kinkara Jaya Dharmanami Parichaya Parampara Janabalomate Jaya Dharma Dasya Kyati Shri Purushottama Jati Tahate Brahmanya Sita Sori Vyasati Tatara Dasha Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tahate Madhavendra Aravindra Purivara Shishya Vara Shishwara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vivu Ishwara Puri Ke Dhanya Korilenya Shri Chaitanya Jagat Guru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya Rupanuga Jane Rajivana Vishwambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatana Hare Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vara Narottama Seva Para Jadapada Vishwanatha Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vara Shri Gaura Kishora Vara Hari Bhajani Te Jaramoda Shri Varsabhana Vivara Sara Sevya Seva Ahayadaita Dasanama Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Swarupa Rupanuga Shri Keshava Bhakati Pragyana Gaudiya Vedanta Veda Bharatama Anta Gaudavani Prachara Chardhama Prachalila Gaudavani Bhakati Vedanta Swami Paelo Prabhu Padekama Kesha Priya Mahajana Vamananarayana Gaudavani Tare Pranadhana E Savahari Jana Gaurangera Nijajan Tarera Uchiste Morakama Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara 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 Guru Parampara. Page 36. Vrindavanavasi jato Vaishnaviragana Partame Vandana Kori Sabaracharana Nilachalavasi yato Mahaprabhurgana Pumite Podiyavando Sabarachara Navadvipavasi jato Mahaprabhur Bhakta Sabaracharana Vando Hoyanuragta Mahaprabhur Bhakta Jato Gora Deshe Stiti Sabaracharana Vando Hoyananati Jai Deshe Vaishe Gaurangera Gana Aur Babahu Gauri Vando Sabaracharana Hoya Chena Hoy Bena Prabhu Jato Dasa Sabaracharana Vando Ante Korigasa Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dhare Dhane Jane Evira Purane Guna Gai Je Basune Mahaprabhur Gana Sabha Patita Pavana Tailo Vimoi Papiro Inu Sharana Vandana Korite Moi Kato Shakti Rori Tamamori Moi Tatapi Mukhera Bhagya Manera Ulasa Tosakshami Modame Korani Jadasa Sarvavancha Siddhi Oyama Bandha Chute Jagate Dolabhoya Prema Dhana Lute Manera Vasana Purna Achirete Oy Devaki Nandana Dese Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Page 200. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Rupa Sanatana Pata Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedoya Kori Swarpar Sadasadhama Sahavatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Bhare Dhana Sikaye Sharanagati Pakatera Pana Dainya Atmani Vedana Gopchit Bevarana Avasya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasapalana Bhakti Anukula Macha Kaye Swika Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Pajanyikara Sadanga Sharanagati Hoi Bejahara Tahara Prarthana Sune Shinanda Kumara Rupa Sanatana Pade Dante Chinakori Vakati Vinora Pade Tu Parador Kariya Kariya Bole Amito Adhama Shikaye Saranagati Karo He Utama Jaya Sarpa Sada Jaya Gaura Hari Sarpa Sada Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Gaurari Nitai Gauranga. You want to sing?
Oh yeah, I think I finally found the key at the end. You Should I do both together?
Be better for time.
Okay, let's do Karuna Karuna. Page 84.
Haribo!
Parama Karuna Pahadu Vijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Sabavatar Sarashiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda Bajo Bajo Bai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishvasa Kori Kori Vishaya Chadiya Sera Semajiya Muke Bolo Hari Hari Decore by Tribhuvanenai Hemana Dayala Data Pashupaki Jare Pashana Virare Shuni Jaraguna Gata Samsare Majiya Rahili Podiya Sepade Nahino Ahasha Apana Karama Bunjaya Shamana Kahaya Lochana Dahasa Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Ekra Chakra Prana Dana Nitai Nitai Nadiya Vihari Jaya Gaura Hari Ekka Chakra Prana Dana Nitai Nitai Nadiya Vihari Jaya Gaura Hari. The two lords, Nitai and Gaurachandra, are supremely merciful. They are the essence and the crown jewels of all avatars, and they are the source of absolute bliss. O brother, worship Chaitanya Nitai with unwavering faith, renouncing material enjoyment and drowning yourself in the rus of worshipping them. Let your lips chant, Hari, Hari! Just see, dear brother, in all the three worlds, no one bestows mercy like they do. Animals and birds shed tears and stones melt upon hearing narrations of their glories. Lochan Das says, since you remain submerged in material enjoyment, the aspiration to take shelter of their lotus feet has not arisen. Thus you suffer the consequences of your own misdeeds as meted out by Lord Yama.
Oh no. Oh no. Sorry. Page 364. Hmm? Yeah. Okay. 364. अनुपमा माधुरी जोड़ी हमारे श्याम श्याम की रसीली रस भरी अखियाँ हमारे श्याम श्याम की रस भरी अखियाँ हमारे चबीली हयत पाखी सुघर सुरत मधुर पतिया हयत पाखी सुघर सुरत मधुर पतिया लतक गर्दन की मन बसिया हमारे श्याम श्याम की लतक गर्दन की मन बसिया हमारे श्याम अनुपम माधुरी जोड़ी हमारे श्याम श्याम की मुक्तार चंद्रिका माथे धर पर पान की लाली माथे धर पर पान अहो कैसी भली छवि है हमारे श्याम श्याम की अनुपम माधुरी जोड़ी हमारे श्याम श्याम की परस्पर मेघ जब विहर श्री वृंदावन के कुंजन में नहीं बरनत बन शोभा हमारे Hare Sham Shama Ki. अनुपम माधुरी चौरी हमारे श्याम श्याम की. नहीं कुछ लालसा धन की, नहीं निर्वाण की इच्छा. सखी श्यामा को दे दर्शन दया हो श्याम श्याम की. अनुपम माधुरी चौरी हमारे श्याम श्याम की. अनुपम चौरी हमारे. जय राधा श्याम सुंदर, राधा श्याम सुंदर, राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधे. जय वृंदावन धाम, वृंदावन धाम, वृंदावन धाम, जय वृंदावन धाम. The sweetness of the divine couple, our Shyam and Shyama, is unparalleled. Their eyes are so full of ras, our Shyam and Shyama. Their charming expressions and gestures, their beautiful faces, their sweet talking, their necks gently tilted toward each other, the sight of which I'll dwell in my heart, are Shyam and Shyama. Their foreheads are adorned with crowns and a special ornament, chandrika, and their lips are red with tambul. Aho, what a wonderful sight, are Shyam and Shyama. I have no words to describe their grandeur when they meet and enjoy their pastimes in the kunjas of Sri Vrindavan, are Shyam and Shyama. I do not have any longing for wealth or any desire for liberation. Be merciful and give this Shyama Sakhi your darshan, O Shyam Shyama. Jai. Owen, Owen.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Go, Hari Bo, Tai Go, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Go, Hari Bo, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo.
Chandraya Radhikaya Twadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah Yang Pravajant Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaga Taruvajuhava Putri Titanmayataya Taravo Benedus Tang Sarvabhu Taridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vina Paradalakshay Chaptasya Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapadyam Prinde Namaste Charanaravinda Tavaivasmi Na Jivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charan. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto Jasad Shri Srimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto Jasad Shri Srimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to our grandfather gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all of his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees, and the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj. On this very auspicious day, it's 3 holidays in one today. One is, Vamsivadana Thakur. He's Krishna's flute, and he incarnated as an associate of Mahaprabhu, and particularly as a servant of Sri Sachi Devi. Then it's also the Baladev Rasa Yatra, the day that Baladev performed at least one of his rasa dances. And then Shamananda Prabhu, who was born as, first he was Dukhi Krishna Das, then he became, first he was Dukhi, then he became Dukhi Krishna Das, and then he became Shamananda, according to who he was under. So we'll begin reading from Sri Chaitanya and his associates, compiled by Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. So first, as mentioned several times, whenever he states something, Maharaj, he always quotes some evidence. He never just says something. So he's quoting first from the Gaura Ganadesha Deepika, which is who's who in Mahaprabhu's pastimes is who's who in Krishna's pastimes. So then he quotes from somewhere. The gopis praised the good fortune of Krishna's flute, for he was able to constantly drink the nectar of Krishna's lips. Does anybody know where this is from? Venugit, good. Everything in Braj is spiritual, i.e. conscious, and so the flute could take a human form, because the gopis were criticizing the flute that you're a male and you're just a piece of bamboo. So how is it that you get a fortune that we don't get, which is sitting on Krishna's lips and being held in his hands? That's amazing. I mean, we hear it every year that he's the incarnation of the flute. But then to hear the words, the flute can take a human form because everything is conscious. And that the Vishaka and the Jamuna River are the same person. And Jamuna is also a person, personified. His life story has been recounted by his grandson, Sri Balab Das, in the book Vangsi Vilas. What does Vilas mean? Sporting pastimes. Other books which contain details of his life are Sripat Paryatana and Bhakti Ratnakara. Bhakti Ratnakara is a very, very famous book of the pastimes of Krishna's associates. And the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhana also gives a brief biography. He was known by 5 names: Vangsivadan, Vangsidas. What does Vangsivadan mean? What does Vadan mean? Like Murli Vadana. That's Vandana. No, it's face. Vadana, Vadana. He's holding the flute to his lips, face. Same thing with Murali. Vadana holds the flute to his face, to his lips. Vangsi, Vadana, and Vadananda. He was a well-known writer of devotional songs. We're going to read from one of his songs in a few minutes. I think you might cry. Where's Vasanti? The water's here. Oh, it's here. Thank you. And I could be known as Kapavadna. Oh, he's coughing. So now he's quoting Sripat Paryatana. The 2 villages known as Kulia and Paharapur were side by side. So he, Kavidat, and Saranga Thakur lived there. As the town grew, it became known as Kulia Paharpur. His home was in Koladweep, the present town of Navadweep, formerly known as Kohulia Pahar. I'm going to skip those details. Though he had not been introduced, Vangsi Vadananda guessed that this must be Srinivas. He approached him and asked who he was. Srinivas told him everything about himself. Vangsi embraced him and washed his body with his tears. Srinivas wanted to fall on the ground and pay obeisances to Vangsi Thakur, but Vangsi would not let him. He then went and told Vishnu Priya, who's she?
The wife of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
And Sachimata, that Srinivas had come. So that's a quote from from Bhakti Ratnakara. Who wrote Bhakti Ratnakara? Narahari Sarakara. He lived as a householder, and he had two sons, Chaitanya Das and Nityananda Das. And his deity's name was Pranavallabha. Now remember how we talked about, or we read about, we heard about, that Ram told Sita that in this birth, I'm going to be making not only one golden statue of you, deity, but every year, and that came many, many years, I'm going to be making and worshipping a golden statue of you. And then, in return, when I'm Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and you're Vishnu Priya, and I go to the forest, now you'll be going to the forest. When I go to the forest, you will establish not golden, but a wooden deity of me and worship him and just have discussions. Just like who? Bharat and the slippers of Ram. That's how he managed the state. So who was it who established the worship? Mahaprabhu. It was him. It was Vamsivadhananda. What?
What is the significance of the deity being wooden, being made of wood?
I don't know, except that in Navadvip, the name deity. So now he had a grandson who was the son of his son Chaitanya Das, and his name was Ramchandra. So this is significant because also he was named Ramai Thakur, because you know Janava Thakurani, the power, the internal potency of Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gaudiya magazine, it says that Janava Mata asked for Ramachandra to be given to her. I want that boy. She gave him initiation and then took him to Kardahar, where she taught him Vaishnava philosophy. Do you know the story of how she initiated, who was that? Veerbhadra. Who's Veerbhadra? The son of Nityananda. So he was ready to take initiation. And then somebody suggested, why don't you get initiation from Janava? Because she's the power of Nityananda. He said, I'm not going to take initiation from any woman, forget it. And then he just happened to be going to the well at the same time that she was there. So she was only wearing a gamsha from the waist down, and her torso was uncovered. So when she saw him from a distance, she became very embarrassed. So what did she do? Two extra arms came out of her, and she covered herself. So he said, I've got to take initiation right now. All right, so here's a song by Vamsivadhananda. This is after Mahaprabhu took sannyas. No more will I see his broad forehead decorated with tilak and sandalwood dots. No more will I see his eyes dance like hummingbirds in the golden lotus of his face while looking upon me, because after all he's a servant in the house of Mahaprabhu's mother. Will Nimai and Nitai, those two divine brothers, ever dance together again? I call out Nimai's name, but Nimai is nowhere to be seen. The heartless Keshava Bharati came and threw a thunderbolt on all of our heads. How did he do that? Gave him sannyas and then he left town. How can we stay in Navadvip any longer, now that we cannot see Gauranga here? Who here can now bring Gauranga back? When Vangsi hears his young wife and his meaning Mahaprabhu's, young wife and mother-in-law crying, he himself rolls on the ground in pain. Amazing. So, that is a good moment to leave this. So, Vangsi Vadana Thakur ki jai. Is it his appearance day or Tadiya Abhirabhav Titi? Mahamahotsav ki jai. Yeah, that's the meaning of Abhirabhav. And then disappearance day is what? It's Shamananda Prabhu, Abhirabhav Titi, Mahamahotsav ki jai. And whenever it was an appearance day with Prabhupada, this was way back in 1966, the year that I joined, which was 1 year after he got off the boat. So, so Prabhupada would say, so-and-so, Abhirabhav Titi, and then he'd say it 3 times, Mahamahotsav ki jai, Mahamahotsav ki jai, Mahamahotsav ki jai. So, this is an unusual series of pastimes here, because he was the servant of Subal Saka. Subal Saka is a Priyanarm Saka of the different classes of coward boys. He was in the most intimate group, that is the Priyanarm Saka, who could also be there when Krishna was with the gopis. Their mood is almost like the gopis, because they can touch Mahabhav, and they deliver secret messages to and from Krishna and the gopis. But then what happened? His spiritual master, being the disciple of Subal, his name was Hridayananda or Hriday Chaitanya. That means he's obviously a coward boy. So first, Shamananda Prabhu was very attached to him, and we received initiation from him. But then it says, may he, the crest jewel of the connoisseurs of divine love, appear day and night in my mind. Bringing me an appreciation of the essence of the joys of Radha's beloved Krishna. So now he's getting into Radha because Hriday Chaitanya sent him to Vrindavan for further studies, because Hriday Chaitanya, being a pure devotee, he knew that the swarup, or the rasa, of his disciple, Dukhi Krishnadas, was that of a manjari, not a coward boy. Now, some people say that when he heard that Shamananda was taking shelter of Jiva Goswami, he became sad because he was envious. But we hear from authorities like Srila Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Maharaj here, from the Shyamananda Satak, and Srila Bhakti began Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev, that actually he was very happy because he knew what he was. How could he want to hold him back? Yes.
Do those people who have those people who claim that he was envious, do they have any scriptural reference, or is it just purely
Well,
speculation?
it must be purely. So obviously he was born on the full moon day, today, Purnima. Yeah.
When you say that when you say that all those authorities say that it's inaccurate, does that mean that
It means they're not authorities. I
yeah.
didn't hear who that is, but I just heard Srila Bharati Maharaj say, some people say.
But does that mean that the ensuing story of how they were how there was like a conference and how Hirde Chaitanya beat Shamananda, these are all inaccurate? Really?
So first, Srila Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Maharaj discusses his birth and early pastimes. But then he says that, of course, a Vaishnava is beyond the material qualities and may take birth in any family, any race, any caste, and he's pure. He's beyond the race and caste. Anyone who thinks that the Vaishnavas are of a certain caste and that he's a human being, or that the deity of the Lord is made of stone or wood, is a resident of hell, Narak. And here Maharaj is quoting from Padma Purana. Anyone who takes the holy water, which has washed Vishnu or the Vaishnava's feet, and can destroy all the sins in the age of Kali, to be ordinary water, who thinks that the name or mantra of Vishnu, which destroys all evils, wow, we have to keep chanting, at least I do, is the same as any other sound, or who takes Vishnu to be equal to anything other than him, has a hellish nature. And then he's quoting from Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is the book by Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Sri Sanatana Goswami, and then who Gurudev said was not written by either of them, but was spoken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So now he's quoting here. Simply being a knower of the four Vedas does not make someone my devotee. Even an outcast who is my devotee is dear to me. One should exchange gifts and food with such a devotee, for he is certainly as worshipable as I am, even if he's super low caste. And a recent experience we had was in the life of Ramanujacharya, You all remember that? There was a very poor, low-caste disciple of Jamunacharya, who was Ramanuja's guru. And Jamunacharya sent him to the house of Ramanuja to help him advance in bhakti. He said, because he's definitely going to be the next Acharya. But then, while they were staying there, Kanchipurnam, his wife went to the same well as Ramanuja's wife, and they were both taking water from the well, and one drop of the water from Kanchipurna's wife's bucket went onto the bucket of Ramanujacharya, and then his wife, Ramanujacharya's wife, started abusing her, calling her names. How could you contaminate my bucket? And so when Ramanuja heard that, he decided, that's it, I'm leaving home. So he manufactured a story so that she would leave town, and then at that moment he locked the doors and left. Shamananda's parents had lost several children at childhood, and they vowed to surrender their next child to Vishnu if it survived. They had suffered so much grief in the loss of their previous children. 25 years later, the mother is still grieving. That they first named Shamananda Dukhi, which means unhappy, to ward off further distress. And then when he got initiated, he was named Dukhi Krishna. His parents performed the appropriate rituals, such as the first eating of solid food and the cutting of hair when their time came. As he grew older, he studied Sanskrit grammar. His parents were overjoyed to see his talents and religious proclivities. He listened carefully to devotees when they spoke of Gauranga and Nityananda's glories, and liked to repeat them to others, just like you all do that very nicely. He also served his parents devotedly, and they told him to get initiated so that he could commit himself to the service of the Lord. So his parents were also good Shiksha gurus. So he wanted to take initiation from Hridaya Chaitanya. Now, because he's a pure devotee, he knew from his birth that he was a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. But to show how somebody gradually advances, just like our Prabhupada, so he performed that pastime of wanting to get initiated by somebody who although self-realized, was of a lower ras.
I have a question. So, when our Prabhupada got initiated by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was he of a lower ras?
Can you, repeat?
Yeah. When our Prabhupada was initiated by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was Bhaktisiddhanta of a lower ras? Or are you speaking about in the story he's of a lower ras?
Not in the story, because Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is Nayana Mani Manjari. So that's the highest.
And so, what Russ is the spiritual master in this story that we're speaking of now?
He's a coward boy.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
He's a
sorry.
follower of Subal Saka, who's the leader of all the Priyanarm Sakas, which is the highest, most intimate group of coward boys.
But then, did you mention that he's also a Manjari or no?
No, he sent him to Vrindavan for further studies. And there he met Jiva Goswami. And he was glad when he heard that his disciple was studying under Jiva Goswami. So when he first met, when Dukhi Krishnadas first met his guru, Hriday Chaitanya, he threw himself at his feet and surrendered. But then he ordered him to go to Vrindavan to take up a life of intense bhajan. And that's where he met Jiva Goswami, who gave him his third name of that birth, and that is Shamananda Das. Why? Because this is next history coming up. And also he was one of the 3 acharyas to be sent by Jiva Goswami to Bengal to distribute the books of the Goswamis. And at that time there wasn't any printing press where you could print 1,000 at a time. And if one box of books gets lost in the shipment, it's not the end of the world. You're sad, but you don't get suicidal. But because there was only like 1 or 2 copies, because everything was written by hand, copied by hand. So when the 3 acharyas, Shamananda Prabhu, Srinivasacharya, and Narottam Das Thakur, they were carrying all the books of the Goswamis on a bullock cart. And then, as you know, they came to one city where the king, Virahambar, he had devotional tendencies, but he was also a crook. And so he had his henchmen go and steal all those books when they were sleeping at night. Somehow they thought it was a good neighborhood. So, like Vasanti, we were in a good neighborhood in Austin. And so she left her cherished bike in the garage, and the door was open. So the next day it wasn't there. So all the books were stolen. They were all suicidal. Srinivas told them, "You two go ahead and I'll stay here and search for the books." And so then he went everywhere, but then he went to the palace of the king. And the person who was reciting either Gopi Geet or Brahma Geet was giving a wrong commentary. So he said, "Can I say something?" And then king said yes. And he gave such a beautiful commentary that everybody there was crying. And so the king then and there said, "I want to get initiated by you." And of course, when there's initiation, there's also dakshin. That is something financial or some particular service. And so the king said, "What can I give you?" He told him about the looting. He said, "Oh, that was me. Here are the books." Thing is, I was told by my henchmen that there was a treasure, because they know astrology. They said, "There's a treasure on that bullock cart in the box." So I thought there was gold and diamonds, but I see it's just books. But I didn't understand that it was a treasure at that time. So I just put them away, but now I see that it's a treasure. So here are your books back. So now we're going to hear about Radharani's mercy to Shamananda and how he got the name Shamananda. So even though Shamananda Prabhu was Hridaya Chaitanya's initiated disciple, his guru entrusted him to the care of Jiva Goswami, completely opposite of what some people said. Through the association of Jiva and service to him, Shamananda developed a taste for serving Radha and Krishna in the conjugal mood. So, Hridaya Chaitanya, there were 12, like there were 8 superior gopis, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, and 8 prominent manjaris. So similarly, there were 12 prominent cowherd boys. And Chaitanya, so many names. Hridaya Chaitanya was a disciple of Gauri Das Pandit, who is in Krishna Lila Subal Saka. So, where's Subal? Is he here? Oh, there you are. That doesn't mean that you're a cowherd boy. So he worshipped Gaurnitai in the mood of friendship, his guru, Hridaya Chaitanya. But those who think that Shamananda committed an offense to his initiated spiritual master by abandoning his mood and trying to directly serve Krishna in a different attitude are wrong. The mood of friendship is contained. That was one of the arguments that Gurudev used to prove that Srila Prabhupada is a manjari, not a cowherd boy, because somehow or other, because Prabhupada did not want us to know at the beginning that he was a manjari. So he gave some indications that he was a cowherd boy because he knew that we would misunderstand, misuse. And so like one of his disciples named Himavati, she was, what's his name's wife? Hansadutta. She was his wife. And at the beginning of the movement, she gave him a shirt, because she was a seamstress. She gave him a shirt that had 2 pockets, and the pockets were like that. So then Govindadasi told Prabhupada, "Oh, Prabhupada, you look just like a cowherd boy," because it's a cowboy shirt. So Prabhupada said, "I am a cowherd. I am a cowboy." So like things like that, without any evidence. All the evidence, scriptural evidence, initiation evidence, are all proving that he's a maidservant. Also the particular acharyas whose commentaries he put in his books as part of his purport and who he followed, all show that. Why did I say that? I don't remember.
That friendship is contained within.
Thank you. So one of Gurudev's arguments is that all the lower rasas are contained in the higher rasas. Like ether is contained in air. Ether and air are contained in fire. Fire, air, and ether are contained in water. And all of them are contained in earth. So like that he was giving. That's not from him. That's from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So now he's going to, what was it previous? If a disciple makes further progress in spiritual life. It enhances the reputation of his teacher. Like Prabhupada made one comment out of his humility. Dhruva Maharaj, his mother, was the one who told him to leave home and go find Narayan, Lord Narayan, and he would fulfill all of his desires. And so he found him by austerities and mantras. And then it was time for him to go to Vaikuntha. So he was in a Vaikuntha airplane, but then he remembered his mother, that she was the one who helped him. And so then he became happy because he saw another airplane with his mother in it. So then Prabhupada commented that even though she couldn't perform the austerities that her son performed, still he was able to bring her back to Godhead. And then he said, so even though I am, poor in many ways in my bhakti, I hope that one of my disciples will become perfect so that by his mercy he'll also deliver me. So then, an extraordinary incident which took place in Vrindavan prior to being ordered by Jiva to return to Orissa. This extraordinary incident demonstrates how Shyamananda was given the mercy of Radharani. One day, he was sweeping the Ras Mandala, and the place where Radha and Krishna and the gopis do their Ras Leela. Suddenly, by Radharani's you know how there's, sorry to interrupt myself. It's okay, you're excused. There's in the Gaudiya Rasamrita that we get every day. So they're all great. And the Rasa Leela 1, 2, and 3 is great. But number 4 is completely incredible. So it's a must hear. But it doesn't have a good quality. So you might need headphones or a speaker. So one day, Shyamananda Prabhu was sweeping the Ras Mandala in Vrindavan, under the guidance of Jiva Goswami, who told him to do that. In fact, when we first joined, we means Prabhupada's disciples, joined Gurudev back in 1992. He told us to go out and sweep in Vrindavan at the holy places every day, but I never found anything. So, suddenly, by Radharani's transcendental mercy, he found her ankle bracelet lying on the ground. In his excitement, he touched the ankle bracelet to his forehead, where it left a mark that is preserved to this day as the tilak marking of the disciplic succession of Shyamananda Prabhu. And this is known as Nupura teaching. Nupura tilak. And so he went back to Jiva Goswami and said, what should I do? He said, only give this back to its owner. Don't give it to anybody else. So then Lalita and Vishaka, disguised, came and said, we want that ankle bracelet. It belongs to our Saki. He said, I'm sorry, I can't give it to anybody but the owner. And so they said, have you no shame? All right, if you, we'll give you a blindfold, and then when the owner comes, you can put it on her feet. So that's how he got the name Shyamananda. because he was favored by Shama, and that is Radharani. Okay. So then Jiva Goswami sent him to Orissa. And both Narottam Das and Shamananda, they preached the message of Mahaprabhu through kirtan, especially Narottam, but Shamananda also. As a result of Shamananda's preaching in Orissa, many Muslims also became his disciples. The most important of his innumerable disciples was Rasika Murari, or Rasikananda, and his glory is also told in this book, and was thus most commonly known as Rasik Murari. He was a very powerful preacher. He's the one who also converted many Muslims, and so the Muslims were envious, and they sent a wild elephant, intoxicated elephant, to crush him. So usually the devotee doesn't show off his powers unless it's necessary. So this time it was necessary. He took some water and mantra and threw it on the elephant. Then the elephants bowed down and became his disciples. And then he's giving a list of his disciples. And it says that most prominent, one of the most prominent was a yogi named Damodar, who he converted. Then he made, oh, there's the yogi right there. Haribol, there's the yogi right there. And then, so you're supposed to, following his footsteps, you're supposed to turn a lot of other people to Vaishnavism. He flooded his Damodar with devotional ras. And after becoming his disciple, he cried and chanted the names of Nitai Chaitanya, when oh when. Who could remain untouched by his ecstatic absorption? The yogi. That's how you make people. So that's the Shri Radha Raman Bihari Jeev Ki Jai. That's what you want to sign up for. He danced, crying out, "Bhakti is the best of all." After delivering Damodar, Shamananda continued to travel and distributing the jewel of devotion to everyone. Okay, I think we'll end here. And Shamananda Abhirvav Titi Mahamahotsav Ki Jai. His preaching, glories to his preaching. All right, and for any of you who just want to browse, the very next glorification is of Rasikananda. Very powerful, and how he met him, how he met Shamananda is also very powerful. He had like a dream. Don't be in so much anxiety. Tomorrow you'll meet your guru. Okay, yes?
Your voice is loud enough. We can hear
Is
the
it?
live stream without.
You can?
Yes.
Great.
You mentioned there's 8 principal manjaris. Who are they?
Well, I say it every morning, and you all say it every morning too. Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, Ras Manjari, Guna Manjari, Labanga Manjari. Who are the others? No, but she's. Yeah. Yeah, so Vilas Manjari is one of the 8. And then I go to Ananga Manjari, who is Janavadevi, Nityananda's power. And then Manjulali Manjari is the, what's his name? Lochandas? No. Lokanath Goswami is the spiritual master of Narottam, and he's Manjulali Manjari. And then we go to a couple like Narottam and Krishnadas Kaviraj, Champak Manjari, Kasturi Manjari, and then Mani Manjari. I don't know who she is in Krishna and Mahaprabhu Lila, but there are some nice pastimes. And then, of course, comes Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his line.
I counted more than 8 there, which is why where's where my confusion
Okay,
is.
so Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami. Rati Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami. Ras Manjari, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Guna Manjari, Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Vilas Manjari, Jiva Goswami. Lavanga Manjari, Sanatan Goswami. And no. Huh? Oh, the 6 Goswamis. Yeah, 6 Goswamis. 8 Manjaris. I don't know who the other 2 are. Yeah, thanks. I never thought of that. I'll inquire. So, does that answer your question? Okay, so now we'll go to somebody who's, huh? What? Okay. Okay. So in those 8 minutes, I want to take a little break. And the break is, it's about caring. And if we don't finish Balaram Rasa Yatra, then we'll do that tomorrow. But I did want to mention about caring and thinking. That is, Srila Prabhupada told us to don't think little ISKCON, think big ISKCON. So what does that mean? Little ISKCON is me, and big ISKCON is all the devotees around me and around the world. But I'm just speaking particularly about around us. So it goes back to those 10 rules of seva, which I'll read quickly. Can you get that? It's on the wall there. So if you use something, put it back. Put it back, why? Because other people who knew where it was before but don't know where it is now will be wasting a lot of their time looking for it. If you break something, then, thank you. If you break something, then either fix it yourself or get someone to fix it. If you unlock something, like if there's prasadam in a closed wok, you know what a wok is? That big pot. And then you see prasadam there. Oh, it's nothing I need now. So, but then you don't close the lid again. So if you open something, close it. If you turn it on, turn it off. If you move it, please put it back. If it's not yours, ask before using it. Like this morning in the sink, there was a rolled up, squeezed, wet, blue cloth. I didn't know why the person had to do that and then not put it away. So that means it's left for the other person. If you use it, please care for it. Don't just like throw it in the middle of the sink. If you make a mess, clean it up. Like if you accidentally spill prasadam when you're going out to Radharani's garden to serve prasadam, and some of it spills on the cement floor, clean it up. Otherwise, somebody else has to do that. So it's really, when you, where's Subal? When you want to make that, all of that, into one word, it's called care, or two words, caring and thinking. It only takes a minute or a second for us to follow that, but it takes somebody a long time. Like, for example, we asked, I'm getting so old. We asked Nikunja to air blow Radharani's garden back there, but then he had to spend a year looking for the air blower and write to people around the world where they left the air blower when they were here. Then I think we finally found out.
I don't know even.
Oh, you haven't found it? Huh? Yeah, it's resolved now, but it took a long time and a lot of waste of time. And I just want to say something scary. Ugh. Anybody who's neat and clean, if we're not caring of others and then leave a mess like in the men's ashram, because I don't care what the others are going to see in the ashram, then less people would want to even stay there for the weekend, what to speak of live there. So if everything is neat and clean, by caring and thinking, like tomorrow is a big Maha cleanup, then, like Prabhupada was speaking about cleaning once, and he said, when I was in college, the cleaner was cleaning the benches so carefully, he said that you actually like to sit down. I want to sit down here. Or I want to stay here. This place is so immaculate. They have incense going and everything is swept and mopped. And the front yard, immaculate. It's so good that Yashoda is now starting to make a garden in the front. And if that could be one of the cleanup areas during the Maha cleanup. But it's an everyday thing because in Miami, it rains leaves. And it doesn't even consider how big the leaves are when it rains. Sometimes it rains palm leaves. What's that leaf that goes like that? Palm leaves, which is like that big. So, yeah, we need to respond in that way. Not that, oh, Miami rains. All right, so I think our time is over now. So we'll discuss the glories of Lord Balaram and his Rasa Leela tomorrow. And then get back to Srimad Bhagavatam. We're in the 13th chapter. Maharaj Parikit's birth and horoscope. Okay, so any urgent questions or comments?
There's also Hanuman Jayanti. Hanuman here.
When?
Today.
Okay, we'll talk about Hanuman tomorrow.
Okay, Jai.
Jai. Any last? Okay, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Shri Shamananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Bangasi Bharana Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Balaram Rasa Yatra ki Jai. Go up, Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo.